Hi all. This is my first live commentary. I'll be doing the live commentary for the Australia versus England cricket match in Champions Trophy 2025. I'm just starting up my Geo Hotstar, and I think it is around the end of 20th over, and Australia are somewhere around 120 for the loss of a couple of wickets. But let's join the live stream. Okay. So Okay, like I was slightly outdated with my scorecard. Australia are currently, as we have joined the live stream now, Australia are currently 142 for 4 in 23.4 overs, 23.5 overs. They have just ran a couple. Alex Carey and Josh Inglis are at the crease. Josh English is at the strike right now, 14 or 15 balls, and Carey on 4 of 6 balls. Root's over is going on. He has given 4 runs of 5 balls. So he bowls his last ball of the over. He bowls it uh, right arm around. The ball pitches outside leg of Inglis, and it's an overpitch delivery. Inglis bunts it towards deep mid wicket and gets a couple of runs. So the over ends, and Australia are on 146 for 4 now. I'll just check if my stream is working correctly. Mhm. Yeah, let's just check. So now Livingston has bowled, and he has bowled the first ball, which has gone for a couple of runs. Carey is on 6 of 7, and English is on 16 of 16. Livingston is bowling right arm over to Carey right now. Wood has gotten one of for 23 of 4 overs. So Livingston is bowling right arm over to Carey. He bowls it on a full length to Alex Carey. Uh, on the seventh stump, Alex Carey hits it over the infield, straight down the ground for a boundary. Australia 152 for 4. Livingston is trying to bowl leg spin, and he bowled it uh, far outside off to Carey. He was hoping to turn it into him, but the plan didn't work. It was a full delivery, almost a half volley, and Carey was able to hit it over the infield. Australia have reached their 15-41 balls, the last 15-41 balls, so they're currently 152 for 4 of 24.2 overs. They're slightly, that's okay. Now Livingston goes around the wicket. It's a half tracker. Carey misses out. He punches it right towards mid off. Now this time Livingston again goes around the wicket. He bowls an off spin to Carey, and Carey drives it towards cover for a boundary. This time Livingston bowls on middle and off, slightly over pitched. Carey is able to defend it with a straight bat back to Livingston. Looks like my net is struggling a bit. So we pick the stream back. Three balls have been bowled. Root is bowling his second over. He has gone for 9 runs off his 1.3 overs. Uh, the win predictor is showing England at 81%, Australia at 19, which sort of makes sense. Root goes around the wicket, right arm to Carey, tries to bowl his off spin. Carey punches it towards cover, deep cover, gets a single. Carey is on 16 of 14 and English is on 18 of 18. Australia are on 160 for 4 of 25.4 overs. Root goes for his fifth delivery, again right arm around to Josh Inglis, who's actually right-handed. So this lands around his leg stump, uh, angling across. He bunts it towards short mid wicket for a dot. Root goes for his sixth delivery, again the same angle, uh, landing at his middle stump at a good length. He's able to place it towards mid wicket, or rather mid on, and get a couple of or a single run. So just one run of the last ball, 5 runs in total of that. You might think that the innings is just meandering along right now, and England seems satisfied because Australia still need around 190 runs more. They're 161 for 4 of 26 overs. Back Livingston, he bowls a half tracker to English. English charges down the pitch and powers it over long on for a delightful six. English almost premeditated this shot. I think he was going to go for it regardless of the length of the ball. It was not a half tracker per se, it was more of a good length delivery. Livingston comes back again, bowling his leg spin, pitches on middle, ends up at off. English is able to defend it towards third ball of the over. Livingston comes again a leg spin, this time on a good length. English paddles it fine towards fine leg for a couple of runs. So 6 runs of the first ball, then a dot, and now 2 runs of the third ball. 8 runs already of this over. I think English has taken the charge, 27 of 23. Fourth ball, Livingston again over the wicket, spinning in, over pitched, driven towards cover, fielded a deep cover, and English comes back for a couple of runs. Looks like the Aussies are having no problem facing the bowling, and the bowling of Root and Livingston uh, is far from any venom. Now the fifth ball of the over, This was not a Jaffa, it was a good ball, but what a comedy of errors. Livingston tried to flick it. It pitched on his leg, over pitched. He tried to flick it towards leg, completely missed it. The ball missed the stumps. Wicketkeeper missed the ball, and the ball goes past the wicketkeeper for four byes. Actually, it bounced a lot. It bounced. It it was over pitched, but it bounced and missed the wickets just by a whisker. Livingston has his head in his. He can't believe it. That's the nature of the game. Last ball of the over. English charges down to this good length delivery, pitched on leg. He bunts it towards deep mid wicket for a single. So 15 runs of that over, which had four byes. Australia motoring along nicely. They have reached around the halfway mark and just around with half the overs done because they are they are done with 27 overs, 23 overs more remaining. Uh, they only have lost four wickets. At the moment, England will like to get at least a couple more wickets before the end of the 40th over and then hope that their fast bowlers, Wood and Archer, are able to bamboozle the lower order. But for now, uh, Inglis and Carey are having no trouble just milking the runs, five, six, 8 runs every over. Root comes back, right arm around the wicket, tries to angle it across. He's not trying to spin the ball, it seems. He's seen that the ball is not spinning much. Uh, so angles it across to Inglis, who just places it towards long off, long on rather, gets a single. So Inglis is on 31 of 27, Carey is on 16 of 14, both going along nicely around the same strike rate. Root this time trying to spin it a bit, pitches it on leg of Alex Carey, but Carey is able to place it towards short mid wicket, get a single. And they run a quick run and make it safely. So two singles of the first two balls. Root again, right arm around towards Inglis. I think he'll try to spin it across. It was a half tracker. Inglis punches it towards deep mid wicket, rather deep square leg. Comes back for a couple. Fielded by Salt and tag teamed with one other English player who throws it in before they run a couple. Root with the same angle, pitches on middle and leg, ends at off. Inglis is able to bunt it towards deep mid wicket, get a single. Fielded by Salt. Archer seems to be off the field. He seems to be doing some stretching, probably uh, going to come back. So Root continues with the same angle, uh, ends at fifth stump for Carey. Carey is able to punch it towards deep cover, and they hear across for 2 runs. Already 7 runs of 5 balls. The Aussie batsmen are facing no pressure at all. England will look for some magic. It seems like a houseful crowd. Uh, Not full, but at least 70% full. Last ball of the over, Root with the same angle, Carey with almost a similar shot, this time towards deep cover, a bit squarer than the last one. Takes a single because it went directly towards Salt. You'd think that they would either bring back Bryden Cars or Wood They also have 4 overs left from Rashid. I have no idea what they're waiting for. So six left from Wood, five left from Archer. I think one of those two are going to come back because anyway they are not going to bowl five, or as I said, Wood is coming back. I'm guessing for 2 to 3 overs now. He has gone for 23, has taken 1 wicket of his 4 overs, replaces Livingston. I think he's going to go right arm over, or it's right arm around actually, towards Carey. Uh, Slightly short of good length, pitches on middle, ends at leg. Carey defends it towards short mid wicket. Speed was nice for the first delivery, 90 miles per hour, 145 kilometers per hour, and he falls on his follow through. He actually does on the pitch on his follow through. Archer does not seem to be getting ready for a bowling. He has a water bottle. He's walking along the boundary for his second ball. Almost a similar length, the typical Wood length, but this time it ends up at fourth stump. Carey again defends it in no pressure to attack Mark Wood. They know things can go wrong. Again, this ball is at 146.4 kilometers per hour. Tough pace. In my opinion, they would probably take Wood for maybe like 3 to 4 runs, uh, not give him a wicket because they are quite decently placed in the run chase. Third ball, similar angle. This time, again, moves slightly towards off, ends on the fifth stump for Carey. He cuts it, or rather, square punches it towards deep backwards point and gets a couple of runs. We are being shown a graphic of Wood's speeds tonight: 151, 151, 151. Ridiculously consistent high speed bowling. And last ball was 152. So dismissal of Smith is shown. Not the best shot by Smith. Anyway, we come back for the fourth delivery from Wood. Again, similar length, ends up at the waist height for Carey after pitching on just short of a good length. Carey again defends it. They have gotten 2 runs of 4 balls. I think they are not targeting Wood for more. If he bowls a bad ball, they'll probably punish him. But other than that, I don't think they're going to take any risks against him. One needs to remember that it was almost the same England squad which lost 3-0 against India. Wood comes back for the first ball. Uh, okay, something happening this on this delivery. He bowls it a bit shorter. It bounces, and Carey tries to drive it, misses, and the ball goes to the wicketkeeper. Thankfully for Carey, he didn't get an edge. They have reached a partnership of 50 runs off 39 balls. Both of them contributing almost equally, 24 runs and 22 runs. Some runs keep coming off extras. In fact, the four byes that we saw in Livingston's last over. So just the 2 runs of Woods over till now. Last ball coming up. Again, Wood coming right arm around to Carey. Again, pitches slightly short on the fifth stump. Carey punches it towards deep point. Ben Duggett tries to catch it. He dives full length across, misses it, and the ball runs towards the boundary. So without, okay, I'll not say without too much risk. The last shot was definitely risky. If you could say Carey was slightly lucky that the ball didn't go into, or Duckett wasn't able to get a hand on it or grasp it, whatever. He completely missed it, wasn't able to stop it either, and it just ran away for four. But it was maybe like a couple of inches here and there, and he could have gone out. So slightly That's how you play limited overs cricket. Uh, Wood goes for 6 runs of his fifth over. England are not able to stem the flow of runs for Australia. Australia just need 162 runs of 21 overs at slightly, or rather, it's 7.5 almost, slightly more than 7.5, close to 8 runs per over. But they can treat it like a T20 chase now. They're only 4 wickets down. They have enough. They have Maxwell to come in next, and I believe they have more firepower down the other order. Joe Root comes back for his fourth over, right arm around, again angles it across to and angles it across, but gives too much Inglis. He punches it towards deep cover. The cover fielder is not able to stop, and there is no fielder inside in the deep near the boundary, and he gets a four for it. It was a poor ball. It was a half tracker, much far away from the cover fielder Adil Rashid, and in the deep there was no fielder in the vicinity, so it was a clear cut four. Again, the same length, but this time slightly shorter. Pitches on leg, and it was a wide, or rather, it was an off spinning delivery, so it spun further outside leg for Inglis, and since he was playing a reverse shot, it was not given a wide, so you would say both are lucky. Root again with the same angle, pitches on leg, but ends up on middle, carries, rather, English is able to play towards deep square leg for one. So Root is trying to use some variations in the second last, in fact, the second delivery, he tried to bowl slow off spin, but all his other deliveries have been quick darting, uh, you know, have been darted towards carries off stump, or as was the case in the first delivery on his sixth stump. Again, now Carey was facing the ball. Root tries to slow it down a bit, over pitches it uh, on the seventh stump for Carey. Carey is able to slice it towards deep cover, gets a couple of runs. So we have seen some variation from Root. Rather than ending at his middle and leg stump, this time he tried to go far outside off, but Carey was still able to place it for 2 runs. Let's see what happens on the fifth delivery. Root over pitches it on off stump, but it goes in with the angle ending at leg. Carey is able to defend it towards cover. Cover is quite closely placed. You could call it a short cover rather. Last delivery, again angling in towards Carey, ending at his middle stump. He defends it, goes towards point, no single. Still 7 runs of this Root over. Four of the first ball from Inglis, then a single on the third ball, and then a couple of runs from Carey of the fourth ball. So 7 runs of this over. Australia going along nicely. I think that they would leave at least 3 overs, or in fact, not at least, only 3 overs for Wood. The last 10, Archer probably again 3 overs. Bryden Cars probably 3 overs for him as well. Couple of 2 to 3 overs, and maybe one from Adil Rashid. They would want, but they do need to come up with some plan because it's 30 overs up. Australia are at 197 for four. Wood for his second over the spell, and it looks to be, oh, it was on the good length. After pitching, the ball kept slightly low, lower than English expected. Hit him on the knee roll, and it darted, hit him right on the middle stump on the knee roll, maybe going over leg. They don't seem keen for a review, but it was definitely, English was beaten for pace. Okay, so slightly below knee roll, and since it seemed in, English was beaten for pace as well as the seam movement of the pitch. It seemed and it was clearly missing leg, but a good delivery nonetheless. Something interesting happening for England. They would hope something good happens in next ball. So this time he comes right arm around towards Carey, angling in, ends at fourth stump for Carey. Carey defends it towards cover. The ball tracking shows that it pitched on almost sixth stump for Inglis, hit him in front of leg stump, but comfortably missing the leg stump because it seemed a lot after pitching, as you could assume. Third delivery for Wood. Carey batting carefully. Uh, Ends up at his midriff. He punches it towards deep fine leg for a single. Australia need 153 of 117 balls, almost a T20 run chase. Two set batsmen, even though they're 4 wickets down, they have two set batsmen at the crease. They are having no issues at all with the bowling. They should be able to chase it down unless England take at least a couple of wickets before the 40th over. Wood has been 9 balls into his second spell without any success. He would hope to get a breakthrough this over or the next because they're for sure they're not going to bowl him more than 3 overs now. Comes for right arm over for Inglis, slightly short of good length. Inglis punches it towards point, a dot. Maxwell it appears to be padded in the pavilion, waiting for his turn, hoping he probably doesn't need to. Australia dressing room looks to be in a comfortable mood. Brook is at cover for Inglis. Butler is at mid off. Wood charges in, bowls of overpitch delivery on Inglis's leg stump. Inglis flicks it towards deep mid wicket for a boundary. You sh- you have to say it was a poor delivery because the field was not set for that, and in any case, it was definitely pitched a bit further up than would have expected because Inglis was able to flick it. He was not going to get a wicket anyway with this delivery. Probably if there was a fielder, he would have probably scored just one, but there was no fielder there. And with Wood's pace, even if there was a fielder in the vicinity, he wouldn't have been able to stop it. Wood charges in for his last delivery, but Inglis finds an obstruction or some disturbance in the side screen. He stops Wood in his stride. Wood has to go back again to bowl this delivery. There seems to be some dew on the as the camera pans towards and zooms in towards the outfield. There seems to be some dew, not much, but there is definitely appears to be some dew. So you would have hoped that with 350 on the board, England would have fancied their chances, but Australia are just cruising. Doesn't seem to be a wicket in sight. Last ball of the right arm over towards Carey, overpitched, ending at off stump. Eng- I'm sorry, Inglis, and Inglis is able to defend it with a straight bat towards. Again, a good over for Australia. England not able to find the breakthrough they wanted. Both of Woods over have gone for one boundary each, so it's not like he has been able to stop the run either. Once it comes down to say 10 overs, 80 to 90 runs required, 4 or even 5 wickets down, you would say Australia have the upper hand. So Bryden Cars comes back. There was a reason Cars hadn't been brought back till now. He had gone for 37 of his 4 overs. In fact, he was quite a good performer against India. Today he has been taken for a beating. Comes back, I'll tell you, he's bowling to Carey, so his right arm around, short pitch, ends at Carey's midriff. He's able to defend it with a straight bat towards short mid wicket. He in fact jumps and defends it. So maybe in some trouble, but not trouble enough to cause any problems for Carey. He's on 29 of 29. Inglis has sped up a bit. He's on 43 of 36. The partnership is going along nicely. They need 114 more, 149 more of 113 balls. Anderson seems to in the okay. So second ball, Cars bowls it short and wide. Carey punches it towards deep cover, and Salt is not able to stop it. A boundary. It was a poor ball, gift for Carey, and he doesn't fail to grasp it with both his hands. 4 runs to his score, 33 of 30. Poor ball, definitely poor ball. And he couldn't even find that he couldn't even have an excuse that it was a first ball loosener because it was a second ball. The first ball was definitely good. Not sure what he was trying to do. These are the kind of balls deliveries you do not want to ball in when you have a dewy surface. Okay, third ball for Cars fires it into Carey's body at 135 Ks, short pitch, lands near his waist area, able to defend it towards short mid wicket again. That is the ball he should be trying to bowl. His first ball as well as his third are like that. So in that case, looking at the field setup, they have a deep square leg, no deep mid wicket. They have a mid wicket mid on, and they have so deep square leg and deep point. So the bowling is going to be short pitched or short of good length. And again, a slightly short pitch ball, Carey just punches it towards deep long on for a delightful six. I think their fielding they don't know what field to set up because for the ball that he bowled, there was no fielder in that area. So there was no risk in this shot. Even if he mishit it, it would have still. I'm sorry, it didn't go for a six. It went for a boundary, but there was no risk attached with that shot. There was no fielder in the vicinity. What Butler should do is probably try to have field deep fielders in on one side of the batsman. Right now, he has a deep point and deep square leg. If he's going to ball in the body, he probably can take out the deep point, bring it up, and probably have the mid wicket go to deep mid wicket. Because right now, the moment Aussie batsmen want to hit it over the infield, they can because there aren't too many fielders at the right places. Already Cars has gone for 9 runs. His first boundary, Carey's first boundary was towards deep cover. The second boundary was towards uh, deep mid wicket. So both sides of the boundary, and even though he has a fielder at deep point and deep square leg, there was no risk attached with those two shots. Now English is on strike. They have taken a single of the second last ball of the over. Carson goes, or rather, Cars goes right arm over, bowls it on a fuller length. English tries a drive, misses it, and thankfully for him, misses the edge as well. So a good ball to end the over, but still 9 runs of the over. Cars maintains his economy rate of 9 runs. England's Pacers have come back and they are not able to provide any sort of control, which is surprising because Australia bowled 13 overs, if I'm not wrong, with part timers, and they were able to get a couple of wickets. In fact, I believe 3 wickets. And as we see, the the machine that goes along with the rope to clear the dew is running in the outfield, and I think the players have taken drinks. So there's definitely some dew on offer, adding to England's woes. They would think that they probably missed out with Livingston not attacking as much as he should have. Root, in hindsight, 68 of 78 balls probably could have gone for run a ball, and they should have probably charged more and tried to go for at least 370, 375 because 350 at this rate looks very, very gettable. Zooming out a bit, we think about where England and Australia are placed in this Champions Trophy. Uh, Australia are without their big three fast pacers, although I have to say, I'm not sure how much difference they would have made because looking at England's pacers, uh, I feel they are definitely a class apart compared to the England's pacers, but still, uh, this pitch does not seem to, or in fact, almost all the pitches, whether in Dubai or Lahore or Karachi, they do not seem to be offering too much early swing. So I don't think Stark would have been that effective. I mean, he has other variations as well. Cummins and Hazelwood, they would have been metronomic, but with nothing being offered. I mean, other than yesterday's pitch, which definitely did seem like probably a South African or Australian pitch. I think the other pitches have not been too friendly for pacers, and unfortunately for both England and Australian pacers, they have not found enough movement off the pitch to get as many wickets as they would have wanted. Even though in the power play, England were able to take 2 wickets, but I would probably say that they were also because of the poor judgment of length by Steve Smith and slight misfortune for Travis Head that they got those 2 wickets. I did not follow live the England batting, so I cannot comment on that. But we are looking at the partnership graphic. Short and Head 21 of 20, Short and Smith 6 of 7. Then Labuschagne and Short 95 of 21. That was a good one, which brought Australia back into the game. Wood for his back for his third over after drinks. He's gone for 34 of 6 with 1 wicket. Uh, Carries on the strike. Wood goes right arm around. Shot of good length, or rather good length, ends at his leg stump. He's able to flick it to a square leg, gets a single. They they look for a two, but it's not there. So it's just a single. English back on strike. So after 32.1 overs, Australia are 213 for 4. They are close to okay. In fact, their current run rate is 6.62, and they just require 7.79 or 7.8 of 18 overs. It is imminently gettable. English on strike. Wood goes right arm over, expecting a short length, which is what it was. Bounced over, and on the leg side of English, Wood tumbles in his follow through. He points towards the crease, uh, and maybe something wrong in the crease. The umpire is calling for some help, but Wood doesn't need the crease or the pitch to be a landing area to have any issues for tumbling. He tumbles almost always on all pitches. So so the first ball went, the second ball went for wide. In fact, this pitch or this chase looks a lot like. I'll come back to that. Third delivery for Wood or second delivery of the over. Again, short and wide. English doesn't move his feet. He tries to slash it, but misses. And Wood half appeals for an edge, but doesn't seem like there's an edge. The wicketkeeper said nothing. The umpire doesn't move. So Wood is just going against hope. The ball goes for a but still some excitement for the over. In the last over, English missed a drive. This time he missed a cut. Both and feels lucky he doesn't get the edge. Third delivery of the over, right arm over, on a good length, on fourth stump. English is able to slash it towards deep point for a boundary. Much he just bent down a bit and slashes it handsomely towards deep point for a beautiful boundary. It sped off along the ground. There was no chance for the deep third to cut it off. To English personal score 47 of 39. Next ball, Wood bowls a similar length. English plays a similar shot, but this time it was slightly finer. Deep 30 is able to cut it off for 2 runs. So it looks like he's trying to bowl a little fuller than he was bowling in his previous overs. Little fuller, little closer to off stump, but English is able to play on both occasions almost faultlessly, doesn't get an edge. Rather, is able to score 6 runs of those 2 balls. We'll have to see what Wood will bowl next. He tried to bowl a bouncer the second ball, but it went for a wide, so that's one bouncer already done for the over. Will he go for a bouncer this time? Probably. I don't think he'll bowl the exact same ball for the third time consecutively. Looks like he has some issues with the landing area. I think that's just bad workman blaming his tools. The umpire has brought some assistance for the pitch. Looks like he wants it to be painted or hammered. There is some unevenness on the pitch. They are putting some sawdust there and they're trying to probably hammer it down to even it up. The camera pans towards the stadium and the stands, and in the newly constructed Lahore Stadium, or you should probably say renovated, the stands don't seem to have the shades. So the weather is good right now, but during PSL, which will probably which will probably be held during the summer, I think the crowd will need to have stands, to have shades. It's going to be hard for them. A bit like Mohali right now. Lahore looks a bit like Mohali, single stands without shades. Anyway, Wood comes back for his next ball. Let's see where he pulls. Almost a similar length, actually. He again points towards the umpire. He isn't happy with the landing area. He looks at the umpire, then looks at the landing area. I don't think the ball went too far away from where he wanted it to go, but Carey was able to bunt it towards point, get a single. Carey has gone to 50 runs. It's his fourth 50 of 41 balls. A nice strike rate of just below 120. In fact, 122. He has scored 44% of his runs and boundaries. Last ball from Wood, this time to Carey. He's on 39 of 34. So now both Australian batsmen are going at more than a run a ball. In fact, a lot more than a run a ball. Wood goes right arm around. Good length, or rather slightly overpitched, on middle stump, ends up at off stump. Carey is able to defend it towards mid off. Wood tumbles again, even though he was bowling right arm around this time. Can he complain again to the umpire? Probably not. Adil Rashid back for his spell. He has gone for 25 for 1 wicket of his 6 overs. Goes right arm over to English. It was a googly. Pitches on off. Ends up at middle end leg. English is able to place it towards long on for a single. Australia 222 for 4 of 33.1 overs. They need 130 runs from 101 balls. They are cruising. Carey takes his guard, has a look at the field placement. There are 3 fielders on Carey's leg side, 1 fielder on deep point for Carey, rather 2 fielder on Carey's leg side, deep long off and deep square. One on deep point. One wonders where's the fourth fielder. Uh, right arm, right arm over, slightly short pitch. Carey is able to slog sweep it a bit towards deep square leg. Comes for a single. English back on strike. Again, keeps his angle at right arm over. This time it's a proper leg spin. Bowls at slightly short. Ends up at fifth stump for English. He punches it towards deep cover, and the long off is able to cut it off near the boundary for a couple of runs. In fact, I am mistaken. It's just a single. They probably could have run a couple of runs, but they did not. So that's surprising. There's a deep cover, deep point, long off for English in the same field for carry, which becomes deep mid wicket, deep square leg, and long on for carry. Another single of the over, this time bunted towards long on by carry for a single. English back on strike for the fifth ball of the over. Most wickets for England since Jan 2022. Adil Rashid tops the list. Fifth ball of the over. Proper spin, pitches on off, ends up at fifth stump. Carry is able, or rather, English is able to stand back on his, or rather, lean back on his back foot, punches it towards log off for a single. No problem whatsoever. Even though Adil Rashid has bowled a googly and conventional leg spin, they aren't facing any issues. The ball is not coming too quickly off the pitch, so they are able to play the spin with remarkable ease. Last ball of the over to carry, pitches on off. Since it was googly, it went along with the angle. Carry tried to stay on the back foot and try to cut it. He missed it. It was a dot. So five singles of the over. One over from Adil Rashid, handled carefully. So one less over to go. I think only 3 overs left for Adil Rashid to make one more impact, or to make some more impact rather. He has already taken a wicket. He would want at least a couple more. England are running out of time. In fact, if you see the worm for both these innings, Australia and England are, those two worms are having a good time together. They're right on top of each other. Australia seems to be, in fact, at this point, England had also lost their fourth wicket. So Australia comfortable in the chase. Archer back for his sixth over. He had taken one wicket for 33 runs off his 5 overs. Comes right arm over to English. Slightly slower ball, pitches on good length, swinging away from him at seventh step. He tries to punch it towards cover, misses it, but the ball dies before reaching the wicketkeeper. In fact, it was a leg cutter, so rather than swinging, it was more of a turn, and in any case, English misses his shot. Thankfully for him, doesn't get an edge. Slightly short of good length, on fourth stump, he punches it towards deep square leg for a boundary. So the first ball was slower one. The second ball was also slower one. Probably not, or let's see. Again a leg cutter, but this time since with the leg cutter you have less control over the ball. This time it pitches. It was not as full as probably Archer wanted. It was short, and English was able to stand back and punch it towards deep square leg for a boundary. Nothing the deep mid wicket fielder could have done. Third ball of the over. Oh, great ball. I think it was on full pace. We'll have to check. Yeah, it was 142 kilometers on a good length. Goes slightly over the wicket. English is not able to bring his bat down in time. Thankfully for him, it doesn't hit the stumps. Oohs and ahs all over the field. Luck. But I guess better luck next time. But this was a great ball. English was done all ends, but he survived somehow. That's the nature of ODI cricket. Fourth ball, slightly fuller, ends on his leg stump. English is able to flick it towards mid wicket for a dot. Root is a fielder on mid wicket. So of 4 balls, 3 dots and a boundary, 4 runs of 4 balls. Let's see if Archer can make an impact in the next 2 balls. Australia are placed at 230 for 4 after 34.4 overs. Archer comes in for his fifth ball. It was short and wide. English punches it towards deep point, gets a boundary. The ball deserved, got the punishment it deserved. English has cruised to 61 runs of 49 balls. It was a great shot. Nothing much English had to do though. It was short and wide. He just showed it its rightful position. It was a knuckleball from Archer. Probably that's why he lost a bit of control. We have to understand that there is some dew coming in, so probably he couldn't control the line as much as he wanted. He probably didn't want it to be as wide. Probably the length also he wanted to bit up. Next ball of the over, much better one. I think it's at full pace. Ends up at English's hips. He defends it towards short mid on for a dot. So 8 runs of Archer's over gone. Australia are at 234 for 4. They need 180 balls. One over. They have tried 3 overs from Wood, one from Archer, one from Cars. Nothing going their way. My net is lagging a bit, so Adil Rashid comes on for his next over of the spell. He's gone for 30 of 7 overs. A good economy, but only 1 wicket to show for his efforts. He would want a couple more. Time is running out, as I said in the last over. Interesting thing to note is that to both the batsmen, this time to Carey, he maintains right arm over. This time he pitches it on off good length. It's a good. Carey is able to place it towards cover for a single. Seems like Rashid is not too confident bowling right arm around to Carey. So English takes the strike for second ball of the over. Rashid comes on right arm over. Oh, it was on a good length, but a wide delivery. He tries to punch it, but he gets an inside edge, goes past the wicketkeeper's boots, and they run back for 3 runs. Duckett had cut it off near the boundary. It was a googly which was bowled on a good length, but too much width. English tried to cut it, but because he tried to rather punch it, but because it was googly, it turned a bit and took his inside edge. So 3 runs, Carey back on strike. Pitches it on over pitch length, goes straight, middle stump at Carey. Carey punches it back towards Rashid, who fields it. It's a dot. Carey's on 42 of 40, English on 64 of 51. Again, the 3 fielders on the leg side, deep mid wicket, deep square leg, and long on. Slightly shorter than previous ball, but Carey is able to punch it towards the long on for a single. You'd think the way the ball, the in the place the ball went, you would think that he would have uh, shown his full face of the bat, but actually he played that with a cross-batted shot. He played that with a cross bat, and still he played it towards long on. So interesting shot. Now, fifth ball of the over to Carey English. It was a loopy delivery on good length. English charges down the track. It felt for a bit that he had missed it. Had he missed it, it would have been all over for him. But he's able to play with a straight bat towards long on. Braden Cars cuts it off for a single. It was an interesting shot. Something happening there. If English would have missed it, he would not have been able to make it back in time. Smith would have easily stumped him out. So Carey for the last ball, over pitched on off stump. Carey places it towards cover, who misfields, and they are able to run for a single. Nothing going right for England. The previous ball, Rashid was almost able to deceive him, but could not. And this ball, there's a fumble at mid on, so one more run given. Still, with Adil Rashid, he has not gone for a boundary in his last over or this over. So they would hope that if their other bowlers could cut off the boundaries, England would still have a chance, because as the last power play kicks in, they'll have one more fielder near the boundary. So they'll be able to exert some control on the boundary count. But right now, the partnership, in no time, it has reached 105 runs of 83 balls. It feels like just a moment back they were on 50 runs, but now they reached 105 runs of 83 balls, going at 7.5 runs per over. It's a good strike rate for the partnership. They need 111 of 84. So they have already scored 105 of 83, 84, and then they now need 111 of 84. So almost halfway there for this partnership. Score as much in as many balls remaining as you've already done, and you'll be through. Archer comes back for his seventh over. He has gone for 41 off for one in his 6 overs. Hasn't had any success in his last over. Hopefully, he would like to have some success in this one or his next one if he gets another over in this spell. The outfield seems to be almost like a circle, which is a good indication that you need to put in the same effort whether you're playing square or whether you're playing fine. Some pitches are, or some grounds are longer, some are wider, but this one is almost like a circle. So Archer comes back, right arm around towards Carey, over pitched on his off stump. Carey places it towards short, towards mid on rather. They have to run a quick one for a single, but they make it comfortably. This ball was at 144 Ks. Nothing that the England team is doing is bringing them any fruits. In the blink of an eye, Australia are already at 240 runs, 242 for 4 of 36.1, going along nicely. In fact, I believe when I started this stream, Australia were at 142 for 4, so they have already scored 100 runs. It's just it's just good batting and a lot of effort in the bowling, but without much results. Oh, it was a Archer bowled this to Inglis, overpitched on middle stump. It felt like a Yorker, almost like a Yorker, but Inglis was able to flick it towards mid wicket for a dot. I guess I need to get my specs because it for a moment I thought that Inglis has been York, but so the win predictor now showing 56% still for England. I don't believe it. Others England is at 30% now, unless they get a couple of all over for them. Third ball for okay, probably didn't have to try that. So good length ball on the stumps by Archer. English tries to reverse scoop it. I think that's the shot. That's what this shot is called. Reverse scoop it. He fails. The ball goes over the stumps without making any contact with the bat. If only the ball was slightly fuller, it would probably you could say he would have been able to hit it. But if he would not have hit it, it would have hit the stumps as well. Don't think he needed that risk. I think he's just trying to show off now. Archer bowls a leg cutter slightly on a full length, ends up at English's stumps. He's able to place it towards cover for a single. This right now, 66 of 55, is the highest ODI score for Josh Inglis in his young career. So in this over, Archer has gone for 2 runs of his 4 balls. So better control than last time. In the score sheet, Wood has gone over 6, Archer gone over 6, Cars over 9, Rashid 4.62. So Archer right arm around for his fifth ball towards Carey, slightly short, ending up at his armpit. He's able to place it towards deep third, or rather guide it towards deep third. Australia are just motoring along. They thought that they will bowl rockets at England thought they'd bowl rockets at Australia and make a game out of this, but those rockets have just fizzled out. Like some of the Diwali rockets I bought last year. Still haven't gotten my money back. Last ball of the over, right arm over to Inglis. A leg cutter. He punches it back towards Archer. I think it bounced just before reaching Archer. Otherwise, so Inglis, even though he is playing delightfully, he has ridden his luck a bit. The scorecard will not show that. But while commenting, I think in the last 2 3 overs, I've definitely seen at least 5 to 6 times where he has been lucky. Either he has slashed at a ball or driven at a ball and missed his edge, or he has tried the reverse scoop, again missed, or even this ball, he pushed it back towards Archer. The ball didn't, the ball bounced before reaching him. So it's a it's a it's a physical sport. It's not chess where you can think 10 moves ahead and like at any given moment you can say that the player is up or down. Here you can play a great shot. If you miss it by a bit, it goes in the hands of the fielder. Or the fielder misjudges it by a bit, he drops it. So Rashid comes back again, right arm over to carry, bowls a googly. Carey is able to drive it towards mid off for a dot. Looks to me like England are running through their overs because I remember back during the ODI World Cup, they were having a lot of trouble completing their quota in time. But it looks to me that they're able to bowl their overs they're able to run through the overs. So second ball for Rashid, no slip. In fact, sorry, a leg slip for Rashid and bowls a overpitched ball towards on middle stump for Carey, who punches it towards deep square leg, and he has to hair back across for the second run. He was almost short for run out, but he's able to make it. Doesn't have to even dive, but some excitement there. The moment he saw where the fielder was, he just ran he ran the first one hard, and he was able to make the second run. Archer was the fielder. Of course, as a pacer, he has a strong shoulder, but from the deep didn't make a difference. Third ball, slightly short. He's able to pull it towards deep, long on for a single. You'll have to say that they are playing, they're showing their Aussiness in the sense that even balls which are probably uh, uh, which can be played on the front foot, these Aussie batters are staying on the back. Now, remember, the pitch is not doing much. Had the pitch been turning a bit like the Indian or even Dubai pitches, they would have found it a lot more difficult to play this shot because they are able to stay back. Even to this ball, which is slightly on the good length, ends up at middle. English is able to stay back and punch it towards long on. He wouldn't have been able to do it if there was more life in the pitch, because right now the pitch is really slow. Even at a good length, the ball is coming on nicely to the bat. It's not speeding up. It's losing a lot of pace. They don't have to worry about the ball pitching on a good length and just snaking in towards their pads. They are able to just stay back. There's literally no venom in the pitch. Fifth ball of the over, again on a good length, on the middle stump, doesn't turn much. I think it was a googly. Carey is able to again defend it towards mid off for a dot. Last ball of the over coming up. They have gotten 4 runs of this over. So Rashid maintaining his economy. Rashid has gone for almost the same runs, or in fact less runs than Cars in more than double the number of overs. Rather, double the number of overs. Last ball of the over for Rashid. Okay, a half tracker. Oh, Carey pulls it towards deep mid wicket where Archer was standing. It was a nice and comfortable catch. You have to believe me, Archer drops it. Shells a straightforward chance. Cannot believe his luck. Carey runs a brace, completes his 50, raises the bat. Wow. Rashid bought them a wicket. But Archer failed to accept the delivery, so the delivery went back to the seller. Not what England wanted. They wanted that wicket. They wanted that wicket. Rashid was able to entice him into the pull shot. Archer was there. He didn't have to run too much. It was straight in his bread basket. But the bread basket had a big hole for the ball to pass through, and it did. Archer has a sorry looking face, but nothing that can be done right now. With that score, with that shot, Australia reached 250 at the end of 38 overs. They just need 102 of 72 balls. Brook with a pat on the shoulder for Archer. So Archer is coming on to bowl now. We wonder what will happen, whether the drop will affect his bowling. It was a very costly drop, and it's up to Archer to make sure that it's not as costly as it would have probably ended up. Comes back, right arm over to English. English reverse scoops it over the infield for a boundary. He tried the same thing last time. He failed, but this time he's able to connect. He sees that there's a slip or even a short third inside the boundary, inside the 30-yard circle. He scoops it over his head, adding salt to the wound for Archer. Looked like it was a leg cutter. English plays it perfectly over deep third. So now that they are close to the target, or well, they're not close, but they are definitely set. They don't find any demons in the pitch. They are playing all these fancy shots. Next ball on the hips for English. He flicks it towards deep square leg where Livingston dives, but I think the ball has touched the boundary. So another four, back-to-back fours for English. Archer gave a gift to Carey, but somehow English is the one who's punishing him. Two boundaries in two balls. Archer doesn't have an idea what to do. He bowled on a good length. He got reverse scoop for four. He bowled slightly shorter. He got pulled for four. I would say it was a flick, not a pull, but still two boundaries in two balls. What does Archer have in his bag? Third ball of the over, right arm over. Ah, again, this time slightly to the leg. English pulls it, doesn't get complete hold of it, runs it past the wicketkeeper, but Rashid is able to cut it off near the boundary. But the batsmen are able to run across for 2 runs. 10 runs of the three balls. In fact, it was a leg by. It wasn't off the bat. Archer steams in for his fourth ball. Pitches on middle end leg, good length, defends it towards mid on. They run across quickly for a single. Marquis is on mid on. He shies at us at the stumps but misses. Comfortable single in the end. Yeah, English should have made it easily, even if it would have hit the stumps. Partnership is already 125 of 99. 261 for 4. 11 runs of 4 balls of this over for Archer. Nothing going his way. Right arm across, right arm around. This time Bose is slower, almost a Yorker ball to Carey, who doesn't do anything fancy, just defends it towards mid off. Now the win predictor has gone for the first time, I believe, in this match, below 50% for England. England on 47, Australia on 53. But it was, I have to say, it was much lower than that 5 years, even 5 years before. Archer comes for his last ball, good length ball, or rather almost a full length ball towards Carey. He plays it back towards Archer, who was able to defend it even with a fumble. The ball doesn't count for any runs. So 39 overs gone. Australia are 261 for 4. Both players have crossed their 50s, and they would hope that they both cross their hundreds. There are enough runs left in the bank, and if they both are not out by the end, they probably both would have reached their centuries. That would be a great way for Australia to start their Champions Trophy campaign. Still, the Aussie curve is right on top of the English curve. That curve is going nowhere. Doesn't look like it'll go below English curve anytime soon. Rashid comes back for his last over. Pitches on a good length. English charges down the track, punches it towards deep mid, rather deep long on for a single. So from what I can see, Inglis has been trying attacking shots time and time again. Carey has been just playing along, run a ball, slightly more than run a ball, without any taking any risks. Carey on the strike. Rashid stays right arm over. Okay, not a googly. It was, I think it was a leg spin ball. Full length. Carey plays the sweep, a premeditated sweep towards deep square leg for a single. Third ball of the over. Good length. Conventional leg spin for against Inglis, who punches it towards cover for a dot. Fourth ball of the over. What does Rashid have in mind? Overpitched ball, loopy overpitched ball, above the eyes. Inglis bends down on his knee, sweeps it towards deep square leg for a single. They're showing the Archer drop again, and after that, the punishment given to Archer by Inglis. There is dew on the ground as Rashid is seen wiping the ball. Even with dew on, I think he has done reasonably. He created a chance in the last over, could have gotten another wicket. Third ball of the over, again a loopy ball, but over pitched. Carey defends it. He tries to play a expansive shot, but at the end just defends it, or rather plays it towards mid off without too much power. Last ball of the over. Can Rashid do something? Good length ball, spinning in towards Carey's legs. He bunts it towards deep mid wicket. Stop just outside 30-yard circle for a single. So Rashid is done. 40 overs done for England. The power play 3 will kick in, where they'll be able to fielder outside the 30-yard circle, and they'll hope that with that they are able to cut the bounce count. But 86 needed of 10 overs. The game is in Australia's bag unless England can do something miraculous. One wonders if Mark Wood or Archer can just bowl Yorkers. Like, they are not able to get anything out of the pitch. So maybe just try some Yorkers. Right? Couple of Yorkers rocketing on their bats. Now, Livingston for the 41st over. It's a half tracker, short and wide. Carey plays a reverse shot. Doesn't have too much timing on it. Just goes to its short third man for a. In fact, not even a single. It was a dot. Livingston, right arm around, like the previous ball. This time it is not as short as the previous ball, but still, since the pitch, the ball is not coming fast enough from the pitch. Carey and even Inglis are able to stay back and play off their back foot. So the ball was not short enough to be played off the back foot, but since nothing is happening, right? The ball is not doing much off the pitch, so they are able to stay back. And in the last ball, he was able to punch it back to the bowler, past the bowler rather, and for four. And this third ball, he plays a similar shot rather from a similar position, but this time he punches it towards cover, slaps it towards cover for a dot rather. Fourth ball of the over. This time Livingston goes right arm over. Again, this time Carey wants to play a sweep shot. He bends down, plays it towards deep square leg, or rather somewhere between deep square leg and deep fine leg for a single. Livingston is running through his overs. I'm not able to finish my commentary. Fifth ball of the over. Inglis takes God, looks at the fielders. Livingston bowls loopy ball on middle stump, good length. Again, Inglis is able to just stay back, punch it towards cover. Cover misfields it. I think Butler is there. Misfields it, fumbles, and the deep long off has to run to cut it off. They are able to go for a single. Oh, so this time Livingston right arm over to Inglis, over pitched. The ball landed just in front of his bat. He made it a half volley. He stood back. He didn't play it off the front foot. He stood back, tried to play it over long on for a boundary, but long on was able to cut it off. It didn't have too much power in it. He was able to cut it off for a single. The thing that you would see, like, you would notice that why there is little help for bowlers. It's okay. Dew is one factor, but the factor that is even more hurtful for them is that the ball is skidding off the pitch. It's not. It's not holding. It's not gripping. So if it grips, spinner would have more purchase. But since it's skidding, right, and it's not. The thing is, it's skidding, but it's losing its pace. It's not coming off as fast as enough fast enough to cause any problems. Okay, Brighton cast right arm around rather. Bowls loose ball going at Carey's leg. He's able to slap it across between deep square leg and deep mid wicket for a boundary. Nothing going on Glen's way. In fact, if again, I think a slightly slower ball, slightly short of good length, pitches it on middle. Carey opens up, and again he plays a pull shot towards deep long on rather. Just goes to show that there is no venom off the pitch. So they are able to stay back, and rather than at balls like he would probably would have, if there was any pace in the pitch, he would have had to play it towards deep square leg or deep mid wicket. But he's able to play it. He has enough time. He's able to play it towards long on. Third ball of the over. Oh, directionless ball from Cars, ending at Carey's hips. There is no support in the pitch, but you have to bowl at the right lengths and right areas. Cars is not doing that. He has gone for plenty in this innings, and this delivery just shows that he bowls on a good length, but it is going past Carey's hips. He's able to just guide it and give some power to it. The ball goes up, but without losing its pace, it bounces just before the boundary and goes for a four. Deep fine leg had no chance in stopping that. They just need 70 more runs off 51 balls. Australia are going to chase it unless they're not going to need those many balls. Oh, and as I was saying that, what has happened? Carey has given it away. I don't know what. I think he wanted to, just for the net run rate, wanted to finish it off as soon as possible. Cars bowls a similar length ball. This time, Carey, rather than playing again towards his leg side, he opens up, makes room, tries to flash it towards off stump, towards the offside. He doesn't have much power or any power in the shot. The ball balloons up, and mid wicket gets a simple catch. Finally, some relief for England. Carey goes for 69 of 63. They're able to break the partnership, but is it too late for them? While the players, Maxwell is on the crease now, having a chat with Inglis. My stream is buffering. I believe Maxwell has already played a ball. In fact, he has played two dots to start his innings. So slightly expensive, but ultimately successful over for Carey, for Cars rather. He takes Carey's wicket, and they don't have an option. They just have Cars, Archer, and Wood to complete off their quota. 9 overs remaining, and they just have to use these three. I mean, I don't think they can use Livingston because he will go for runs. Maybe they can try what Australia did with Labuschagne, but Labuschagne with a shorter stature, he didn't get as much bounce, and his lower bounce was the reason for the couple of wickets that he got towards the end. Wood is back for his eighth over. They would want to get another quick wicket. Inglis is on strike, right arm over, pitches it on good length. Wood or Inglis punches it towards deep point for couple of runs, I believe. Yes, couple of runs. Because the fielder had to come from deep cover to cut it off, and they completely made it for 2 runs. Wood still having problems with his landing area. I don't think the pitch has an issue. It's the issue with Wood because he tumbles everywhere. I hope uh, if and when they lose this match, I hope they don't blame it on the pitch that it was causing problems for Wood, and that's why they weren't able to get the wickets they wanted. Because England, they just want moral victories. I don't think they're after actual victories anyway. English on strike for second ball of the over. He gets pinned in front of leg stump by Wood. I think Wood bowled a similar delivery, if you remember. I think a couple of overs back in his previous spell, where the ball was doing too much, going past his leg stump, and I believe this it's a similar case with this one. He has been pinned, but England don't even bother reviewing. The ball was angling in, pitched on off, or even outside off, hits him on leg stump, and it was comfortably missing. So nothing going England's way, apart from, well, if you see, in fact, Carey Carey ran out of luck. He was a bit lucky to reach to his 50, but then he gave it away. Now English, again a similar length ball to previous ball, but this time English was prepared for it. He flicks it towards, or rather punches it towards mid wicket for a couple of runs. The win predictor, a couple of balls back, showed England at 49, Australia at 51, which I believe is closer to fair assessment now because one more wicket down and we'll have a chase at our hands. I mean, England will feel that they have one foot inside the door. Three balls, fourth ball, slightly short but doesn't bounce enough. English goes for the pull, doesn't middle it at all. Wicketkeeper runs around towards his left and cuts it off for a single. Maxwell on strike for his third ball. Takes his guard. The field shows we have a deep third, deep cover, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and deep fine leg. So the bowling is going to be short. There'll probably be no full length deliveries. 5 runs of these 4 balls. Inside the 30 yard, we have a square leg mid off cover. So in fact, there is no long off, no extra cover, or no deep cover, and that is where Maxwell aims his shot. It was a slightly full length delivery. Maxwell goes down on one knee. It was wide, so Maxwell just punches it towards long off for almost a six. It goes for a boundary. I just noticed it that there was no deep cover, no deep long off, and that's where Maxwell targets it. He just had to hit it over cover. I mean, it was clear that that's where he was going to go. They probably invited him to play that shot, and they were hoping that he doesn't execute it, but he executed it faultlessly. So now Butler has gone to mid off, but I don't think it'll matter. If Maxwell gets the ball, he will still play that shot, but this time the ball was a near Yorker length. Maxwell digs it out, plays another lofted shot over mid on. He's able to beat the mid on fielder, goes for another boundary. So we have 2 boundaries of the last 2 balls, and another expensive over for Wood. Australia are 295 for 5. Up. I believe. Can we say that they're slightly above England's curve, just a little bit? 57 runs required of 7 overs, just over 8 runs required. They should be able to make it. Cars for his 7th over, English on strike, right arm over, full length delivery on 5th stump. English is able to drive it towards cover for a dot. Extra cover rather for a dot. Yes, should replay. The ball was in the slot. It was slightly. He aimed for the Yorker, but he missed it by a bit. It was in the slot. Maxwell was able to dig it towards long on for a boundary. Great shot to watch. Well, the spirits are high in the com box. Atherton having a smile, rather a giggle, along with maybe giggling on one of Matthew Hayden's jokes. The next ball, again, slightly short of good or probably good length on 4th stump. English defends it. Or was it? Yeah, English defends it towards Wood for a dot. Archer 53 in 8, Wood 56 in 8, both 1 wicket each. Cars 56 in 6.2, 2 dots for Cars in this over till now. He would hope to not concede a single boundary in this over to put back some pressure on Australia. Australian dressing room seems comfortable. We have a deep square leg. So a loopy ball on 7th stump, over pitched. English tried to drive it, again misses. The ball does not go to reach the keeper. It dies before reaching the keeper and reaches him with on just after a bounce. So We saw the field setup just before this ball. There was deep point, deep mid wicket, deep square leg, deep fine leg, I believe deep long on as well. So three fielders on the leg side. Oh, short ball into the midriff area for Inglis, pulls it handsomely towards deep square leg for 6 runs. Nothing the square leg fielder saw it sail over him. There's nothing he could do. It was hit like a bullet with his front leg going in the air, hit like probably Vivian Richards or Kapil Dev. It was a good shot to watch. Cars coming in for his fifth ball. Ah, this time goes back to good length on fifth stump, but English reverse scoops it for another six. I was just saying that he'd hope that he doesn't go for any boundaries. Now he's gone for two sixes in two balls. A bad outing for Bryden Cast today. It was a full length ball. Still, English corrects for the second time consecutively, two times out of 3 or 4 attempts that he had made he has made at the reverse scoop. He has been successful twice, I believe, and on both occasions, on the first occasion, I think he got a 4. This time he gets a 6. So yeah, the boundaries aren't that big, so that helps. This time, angling in towards off stump, he's able to stand back, punch it towards cover, deep cover for a single. The required balls, the remaining balls and the required runs are almost close now. 44 needed of 36. There is nothing that England can do right now, other than probably take a couple of wickets in the same over to derail the chase, because now they are home. Australia are home. There are 308 runs in 44 overs. In fact, reminds me of the 2022 ODI series between Australia and Pakistan. I believe Australia didn't have their conventional Warner, and Warner wasn't there. So Travis Head was the one who was opening. I think he got a century in the first inning, in the first ODI, and believe Pakistan lost. I mean, Australia kept scoring above 300, and Pakistan kept chasing them. So uh, that's how the nature of this pitch is. There's nothing you can do as a defending team unless you have scored more than like close to 380, 390. There's not much you can do. Australia faced it then, England are facing it now. Archer comes back, right arm over, almost a Yorker length delivery. English digs it out towards mid on rather, takes a single. He's checking the toe of his bat. Wow, that we have shown that shot, the whip shot played by English in the last over by Cars, and it was a good shot to watch. The bat comes down like a whip, goes up towards the square leg area where the ball went. Delightful shot. 43 of 35. Well, having a look at the fielders. He's ready for the delivery. So the field is set up for the short length ball, which is what they get. Maxwell stays back. He pulls it towards deep mid wicket for a single. Didn't time it as well as he would have wanted, but still gets a run off it. So English on 98 of 76. Carey missed his century, but definitely English won't. Livingston wipes the ball, gives it to, or rather, Butler wipes the ball, gives it to Archer. English back on strike. He'll probably want to get his century on this ball. He pulls it, and the ball goes miles up into the stands. He gets to his century with a 6. Maxwell hugs English. What a crucial knock against their arch rivals. English with a match-winning innings. He was not in the squad. He was in and out of the squad for a lot of time. There's question marks over his spot, but he returns back to the squad and into form with a classy century. Faultless. he had his share of luck, but if you were to score 100 at that strike rate, you would have your share of luck, and you can't blame him. Great innings to start their Champions Trophy campaign. English is all smiles. Archer is all at sea. England are all at sea. This time, full ball, fourth stump. English defends it towards point for a dot. Doesn't matter. He is already at 104 of 78 balls. The longer he has batted, the faster he has gone. So I think this is the third time we have seen a 300 plus score, and in fact, this is the highest 300 plus score. But and this is the highest one is getting chased. So nothing England can do about it. Deep cover, deep fine leg, deep third, deep mid wicket, deep square. Full length delivery on off stump. English presents a full bat. Archer defends it. Archer rather stops it. So two dots after couple of sixes in this over, or no, just one six. Still 9 already of the over. Yeah, sorry, 8 of the over already. Last ball of the over coming up. Slightly slower, probably a leg cutter. Still ends up at English's leg. They both run across quickly for 2 runs. 34 near the 5 overs. It's game over for England. I am certain that at this point, England were only around 305 or 6 after the end of 45th over. Yeah. So Australia above England's one now. There was some nerves in the beginning of Australia chase where when there were 2 wickets down inside 6 overs and probably thought that they would have a hard time because the young guns were there and England had their pace bowling trio, Wood, Archer, Cars, but the pitch offered literally nothing, and England pacers were found wanting for their skills on this docile pitch. Couldn't stop, couldn't do anything about it. In fact, in the final analysis, Livingston's 47 of 7 overs looks decent compared to what their pacers have gone for. So all their pacers have been punished. In fact, it's their spinners who have held the run rate back slightly. English has hit 3 or 4 sixes, I think. I probably missed that graphic. Wood comes back for a final attempt. He has gone for 56 of his 8 overs. Maybe he can probably try Yorkers. There's nothing in the pitch to help him. Even for full length or good length deliveries, the batsmen are able to stand back and punch or pull as they want. Which steams in slightly short. Maxwell punches it, makes room, punches it towards deep cover for a boundary. It is cakewalk right now. I think Wood has to try Yorkers. There is nothing in the pitch, whether you dig it hard or you bowl a loopy delivery, there's nothing in the pitch. It's just so easy for Maxwell. He just makes room, punches it towards with as much force as he could gather towards cover, deep cover, gets a boundary. The run rate required is run a ball now. Nothing Wood can do. Goes for another short pitch bowling on the shoulder height for Maxwell. He tries to awkwardly awkwardly pull it, fails, thinks it's a wide. He looks at the umpire. The umpire has nothing to say. So I think it was a decent. I think it was a legal delivery. Yeah, yeah, definitely not a wide. Yeah. Let's see if Wood continues with his, because maybe he can try a Yorker. He can slip in a Yorker now because Maxwell is on his back foot. Let's see if what happens now. Third ball, another short ball, and gets the punishment it deserves. He has been bowling the same length. Maxwell stays in his crease, does not move much, just pulls it towards deep fine leg for a six. If you keep bowling the same length and you expect that batsman will make a mistake, he will probably make a mistake, but pitch is not helping you. So you have to be clever. And I don't think English bowling has been clever at all. They have been really predictable. I mean, if you know that Mark Wood is coming to bowl, you know that he's going to bowl short of good or short length, and Maxwell is just prepared for it. He's not even trying a full length. He's not even trying for a Yorker. I mean, he's not trying a slower ball. Nothing. And he goes for the punishment he rightfully deserves. He has gone for 66 runs in 8.3 overs, and I mean, I don't like it. I mean, I don't know. It just feels that he has taken on his ego that Maxwell has gotten 10 runs off his three balls, and another short length bowling. This time Maxwell punches it, but gets an edge, flies towards deep third, where the deep third fielder Archer is able to cut it off for a single. But you have to say that Wood would feel lucky. Wow. Now 23 needed of 26, and they are not going to go into the 50th over. I feel they're going to get there with just with 10 overs, 10 balls remaining. Okay, slightly short of length, a hard length this time on fourth stump, rising up to. He's able to defend it. Yeah, in the previous shot, Maxwell was looking at where Archer fields it just near the boundary, and he he was frustrated that he couldn't make it past Archer because it was a shot that he probably thought he would have deserved the four. Last ball of the over. Wood steams in, bowls a much fuller length. Inglis hangs his bat around fourth stump, misses the ball, misses the bat. Inglis has been lucky. Ball misses the bat, goes towards the keeper Smith. No wicket for Wood. Not that it would have mattered now. We are just waiting for the final rights of the English bowling. It's not that the English bowling has been toothless. They have tried what I mean. There have been some errors. They have tried what they knew, what they can do, what they feel they're confident with, but nothing has come off. The pitch is docile. I mean, on such pitches, if you're if you practice your Yorker again, I mean, because if you try to take use of the pitch, get use of the pitch, you are not going to get any use. So just take the pitch out of the equation. Go for Yorkers. That's what I feel. Otherwise, you're only going to wait for a batsman to make mistakes. Yeah, yeah. Archer goes for the Yorker, almost lands it on the spot. It ends up as a very low full toss. English is not able to dig it away. He tries to dig it, but ends up at cover. One bounce, goes for a single. That's what you had. That's what Wood also had to do. Try to go for a Yorker. I mean, of course, if they know that the Yorker is coming, they'll probably charge down a pitch a bit and make it a full toss. But you have to try. You have to take the pitch out of the equation. There's nothing in the pitch. Although the field is set up for a short length delivery, which is what Archer bowls, but English again pulls him, gets full hold of it, gets a huge six into the stands. Archer's bowling got what it deserved. The the ball meets the middle of the bat, even though it was a short length. English picked the length very early. Not that there's any pace in the pitch. English bowlers they think every pitch will be like England's pitch where there'll be pace off the pitch. No, there is not. You have to be clever, and that's where like these guys are compared with Bumrah or Shami, and I mean Shami still goes for runs, but he takes a lot of wickets. I don't think. I mean they have to learn how to bowl on these pitches. They just cannot let their ego get in the way, which I feel they are. Even if they have kept the field for a short length ball, the, Archer has to try for a Yorker again. I think they lost the ball in the crowd, and now they have gotten the ball back. 16 needed of 22. English is on 112 of 83 balls. I think he's going over 130 now. Slightly good length. English guides it towards deep third for a single. Tomorrow is the big, in fact, the reason Champions Trophy is being conducted. It's a big Sunday coming up. India versus Pakistan, live from Dubai, from 2:30 onwards, India Standard Time. All eyes will be there. It'll be my second stream. I'll be covering it live. Let's see how it goes. Archer for his third. Good length ball. Maxwell stays on his back foot and thunders it past cover for a lightning boundary. It was full length on his fourth stump. He just stayed back, put his weight on the back foot, and it just punches it with as much power and as much force as he could gather. And the ball races across the infield and the outfield for a boundary. Probably took less than a second or maybe a second to reach the boundary. It was that fast. 2 balls remaining. Archer goes for a Yorker, but it becomes a full toss. Maxwell pulls it, and as I told you, that's what they had to try. They had to try something out of the ordinary. Maxwell pulls it, doesn't time the ball as much as he wanted, ends at deep mid wicket. Maxwell thinks he should get a no ball. I don't think it was a no ball. It was a fair delivery. I don't think it was a no ball. Definitely not a no ball. So Archer in for the Yorker, probably slipped out of his hand, became a full toss. went at hip height to Maxwell. He pulls it, doesn't get complete hold of it. Livingston catches it near the deep mid wicket boundary. I think the umpires are trying to refer it, see where uh, Maxwell hit it, but I think it's going to be a fair delivery. Umpires don't have any issue. Umpires don't think that. I think they have referred it. They're just waiting probably. Doesn't look like it was no ball though. They're all just looking at each other, waiting for the third umpire, I guess. Maxwell is chatting with Butler right now, with Archer squatting down on the ground beside them, giving his legs a bit of rest. Yeah, it's an umpire review. And think where it hit it, it was above his waist, but he was crouching a bit, and the ball was dipping. I don't think it should be a no ball. The ball was dipping. He was crouching a bit. In fact, it is deemed above waist high by 2 centimeters. So, oh, who knew? So it is a no ball. Finally, Maxwell gets what he wanted. Unlucky for Archer. It's a free hit now, and uh, I mean, they have judged what they have judged. I just felt it was probably a fair call. Anyway, it's a free hit now, 10 instead of 20. You'd think that Maxwell will again try to hit it out of the park. He's already on 25 of 12. Now, Archer and Butler having a word with the umpires. They think they've gotten the short end of it. Again, looking at the wide screen to understand what went wrong, but the third umpire has made his call. Not sure what the delay is about. Archer goes back to his mark. He'll have to bowl a free hit ball. Now they're trying to see whether Maxwell should take the strike or it should be Inglis, because so Maxwell takes a strike, free hit ball coming up. Think they'll finish it off in this over itself. Good length ball. Maxwell stays back. Punches it towards long on for a six. Makes room on his back foot. Very easy for him. It was not even a good length. It was a full length over pitched ball. Stays back. Gets enough elevation. It goes for almost a flat six. Last ball of the over. Maxwell will try to finish it off in this over, but it was Yorker length. ends up on leg stump. Maxwell digs it out towards cover, just a dot. So 4 needed of 18. You might say that Australia have baseballed England in this match, and since the time McCullum has become the limited overs coach, they have only won one. I think since they landed in India for the limited overs tour, they've only won the one T20. Yeah, so they've lost 4 T20s, 3 ODIs, and they're going to lose this ODI as well. So 4 T20s, 4 ODIs, nothing going McCullum's way. He's tried to, you know, create some spark in the limited overs English team, but without any success till now. Any ball could be the last ball of the match now. 4 of 18. Mark Wood comes in. English on the field. English taking strike. Almost a Yorker length ball. English digs it out towards mid on for a single. Wood again tumbles after his follow through. In his follow through, probably looking for something to blame his performance on. Three of 17. Maxwell on strike. Wood charging in. Short length ball. Wood again tumbles in his follow through. Maxwell stays back, punches it towards deep mid on for a single. Slaps it rather towards deep mid on. So 2 singles in 2 balls. Australia reached 350 in 48th over. Third ball coming up from Wood. He's tired. Now they're taking as much time as they want. Oh, good length ball onto the leg stump. English flick come pulls it towards deep mid wicket. Root is right on the boundary, tries to jump and take the catch. The ball hits his hand and still goes through. Root falls off the boundary. Ball goes for a 6. Australia romp home with 5 wickets in hand. It was a clinical chase for them. Didn't have any issues in the last 210 odd runs since I've started streaming. They never looked like in any sort of bother. England were clueless. They didn't know how to bowl on this pitch. They you cannot blame them too much. It's hard. I'm sure if Australia would have bowled in the second innings, they would have faced something similar, right? There is nothing in the pitch. You have to bowl. You have to do something out of the ordinary. You have to bowl thundering Yorkers. You have to probably deceive them somehow. The pitch is offering nothing. The pitch is like a glass. Inglis goes on 120 of 84 balls. Unbeaten. A memorable century for him. Australia get a win as well as a huge NRR boost. Players shaking hands in the field now. Deservedly, man of the match would be Josh Inglis. Inglis against the English. So, a good performance for him. Australia can sleep tight now. Now they just need to win one match against either South Africa or Afghanistan to be clear. Now, this is rather ICC Men's ODI tournament's highest successful chase, and England and Australia in this match has made the highest successful chase. Before this, Pakistan against Sri Lanka, 345 for 4 in the World Cup was the highest chase. So, Australia showing that what they did in 23 World Cup, they can do the same in the Champions Trophy. South Africa and Afghanistan will have their task cut out to stop this Australian juggernaut. We read the scorecard. Short, Matthew Short, 63 of 66. Cotton Bull, Livingston. Head and Smith went early. Cotton Bull, Archer, Head and Smith caught Duckett, bowled Wood. both in single digits. Labuschagne also went above run a ball, 47 of his 45 balls. Caught Butler, bowled Rashid. Carey, 69 of 63 balls. Inglis and Maxwell are not out. Apart from Hedge and Smith, everyone has made meaningful and, in fact, very, very good contributions. Australia looked almost faultless in their chase. Coming to the bowler score sheet, Wood went for 75 of his 9.3. Archer goes for 82 of his 10. Ridiculous bowling. Carr 69 of his 7. The Pacers were taken full toll off. Rashid's 47 of his 10. Good. 1 wicket. Could have gotten one more. Livingston's 47 of his 7. Decent on this pitch. Root 26 of his 4. So Livingston and Root combined for 73 runs of 11 overs, which is decent. It's the Pacers that have caused much damage. In fact, they probably could have bowled. They could have had one more spinner in the English side, and he would have probably had a better impact. So England, even though they reached 351, it was not enough at all. I mean, I think looking at the final scorecard, they're probably 30 to 40 runs short, and because Australia were able to chase it in just 49.3 overs, 15 balls remaining, 5 wickets left, you would say they chased it at a canter. So that's it for the stream for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you like the stream, and I hope that you'll follow my stream tomorrow as well for the India versus Pakistan match. Goodbye.